Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Bhavna Joshi and I'm taking the subject childhood and growing up. So in this subject today we will be discussing about another theory, that is the psychosexual theory of development, which was given by Sigmund Freud. Now this theory is in your fourth unit 1 of childhood and growing up subject B.Ed 101. So let's start. Now, who was Sigmund Freud? Sigmund Freud was a physician. He developed this theory when he was doing his clinical practice. Now, he used to treat people with physical and emotional problems. He noted that many patients just want to talk about their problems, what suppressed problems they have, suppressed thoughts they have. So for treating them, for analyzing their mind, he used various psychological techniques like free association, dream analysis, and analysis of error. He wanted to understand the internal functioning of the mind through this. So Freud said that our human mind is divided into three levels. One is the conscious mind, another is subconscious mind, and third is the unconscious mind. Now, conscious mind is what we are thinking exactly at this point of time. Whatever you are thinking, whatever you are experiencing at this present moment, that is your conscious mind. Subconscious mind is the memories and knowledge which you can easily recall. That is your subconscious mind. And the last is your unconscious mind. Now, this mind is consists of all the thoughts, desires, impulses which you are not aware of, but they are somewhere hidden inside you. So these are the three human minds. Now, next is Freud showed the human mind in the form of this iceberg, which he said the mental iceberg. In this, you can see that only 10% of a mind is the conscious mind, which is alive. The experience and thought which you are having at this present moment. And the remaining 90% is consists of the subconscious level and the conscious level of the mind. Now, which again you can see the unconscious is the largest one, and then comes the subconscious. You can see in this image that the unconscious level consists of all your fears, your unacceptable desires, sexual desires, irrational wishes or immoral urges, shameful experiences or selfish needs. Now, these are things by names which you can come to know that these are something which you don't want to tell to anyone, which is hidden inside your mind. So this is the unconscious, and the subconscious is the memories and stored knowledge which you have. So let's see what is unconscious mind. Unconscious mind is the it is the reservoir of all the animal drive or instinctive drives which you have, which you cannot express openly in the society because they are not acceptable. That is something which is in your unconscious mind. It stores all the ideas and your wishes that is there, that cannot be that can be concealed from the conscious awareness of a person. Most of these arises from sexual desires which cannot be expressed openly, and therefore are repressed. Now, these are the desires. This unconscious mind has the desires, the sexual desires, which are not acceptable in society, and so they are repressed by the person. So, in unconscious mind, people constantly struggle to find some socially acceptable ways to express their unconscious impulses or keep them away from being expressed, because this may hinder their their personality. Next, Freud come up with this psychoanalytical therapy. This is the therapy. The basic goal of this therapy is to bring out these repressed unconscious material to the consciousness, because he said that many diseases which a person has in life is due to these repressed unconscious material which is there in their mind. So which will help people to live in a more self-aware and integrated manner. So he come up with three things. One is id, the other is ego, and the third is the superego. The three terms which he gave. Now, what is id? Now, id deals with the immediate gratification of the primitive needs and sexual desires and aggressive impulses. Now, id is something which a person, a person wants that immediately. There should be gratification of these needs or these desires should be uh, fulfilled immediately. Now this is what id says. Now id is unconscious in nature and has no direct contact with the reality. In reality, we have to see that where we are sitting, with whom we are sitting, how we have to behave in a social gathering. So this is something id, whatever id says, it is unconscious in nature. One cannot express immediate gratification of need in social well-being. So this id is immoral and it contains no social values or morality. There are no social values involved in this. It is highly immoral, you can say. These contains all the repressed desires, feelings, and thoughts which a person can have in his life. The only purpose of it is to satisfy the desire, nothing else. So it operates according to the pleasure principle. So when it says that there should be immediate gratification of needs, so immediately the pleasure should be seeked by the person. That is what it says. So always seeks for pleasure and it avoids pain. It is the reservoir of libido. We will discuss the word libido in the future lecture. So only part of the personality which is present since birth is the id. When a child is born, id is there in him, and it works very prominently at that moment of time. Like for example, if a child is hungry, he will cry. He wants that immediately his hunger should be satisfied. His hunger should get relieved. So he wants food for it. So immediate gratification of need is there, and the child gradually, as the child will grow, he gradually learns that every time id cannot be satisfied. So id is based on the instinct factor. Now next comes your ego. Now what is ego? Ego, it grows out of id in infancy. As the child grows, out of id comes the ego. Now ego is what? It is not usual ego which we use in the day-to-day life. It develops as child realizes that id is constrained by the reality. Id, as we say that id was instinct, was governed by the instinct. Now ego is governed by the reality. Ego is very much aware of the reality concept. He knows that this is the reality. Now at this present moment of time, my need will not be satisfied. So it works on the reality principle. It often directs id towards more appropriate way of behaving. Now this ego is the mediator between id and superego, the next term which we will study now. So how it is a mediator? Ego is a mediator between id and superego, that we will discuss in the coming slides. Next term which he gave is superego. Now superego is the moral branch of the personality. It is superego, you can say it is based on the morality factor. As we discussed that id is based on the instinct factor, ego is based on the reality factor. Now superego is based on the morality factor. and this develops when when the child grows up to the age of 5 or to 6 years. Now, superego is something which tells id and ego whether gratification is in particular instinct is ethical or not. As I said, that superego deals with morality. So this superego tells id and ego whether the gratification of this particular need is ethical, is morally ethical or not. So it can either reward or punish the ego also. Ego, who is dealing with the reality, he will punish. The superego can either reward or give punishment to the ego by way of, feeling guilty. No, this is not right. This is not ethically right. One should not do this. Ye kyun kiya? Why I have done this? The fear factor, the anxiety factor. So this is the way how our superego either reward us or punish us in the form of guilt, fear, or anxiety. So it only considers whether the id's sexual and aggressive impulses can be satisfied in moral terms or not. If morally the sexual and aggressive impulses are wrong, then superego will say, no, it is not ethically, it is not wrong, one should not do it. And if ego says that, okay, in reality we can do it, so superego will give the guilt to ego that no, morally it is not correct, we should not do this. The sexual desire and aggressive impulses, one should not have this. Why? Because it is not morally ethically right. So this is the way how superego gives the punishes the ego. The next is superego cannot operate on all level of consciousness. It is mostly subconscious. It is not always, it is not always conscious. So as I said, now with this slide, you will be able to understand the relationship between id, ego, and superego, how they work actually. And as I said, that ego acts as the mediator between id and superego. You will come to know about this. Like, for example, I have written an example over here that your id says, the instinct says, grab the ice cream cone and eat it. Like a child who is in market with his parents, the instinct in the id, the instinct in the child will say, grab the ice cream cone and eat it. No need to ask your parents, no need to give money, just grab it because I want it. The instinct says, I want it, grab it and eat it. Now the ego, the reality one, the ego in the child will say, if I grab the cone, I will get punished. I will be punished by my parents. That this is wrong. The way you opted for the ice cream, the way you go for the ice cream was wrong. You shouldn't have grabbed it. So that is the reality. Ego knows that my parents will punish me because if I grab the ice cream like this. Now the superego, the morality says, I should not ask my mother to buy a cone for me. The superego say, no, it is not right. I should not ask my mother. Mother cares for me. She says that your throat will get affected or you will have cold, this or that. So the morality factor says, no, I should not ask my mother to buy the cone for me. So this is what is id, ego, and superego. So id says, I want to do that now. I want to do it now. Now, and now means at this present moment. Anyhow, I want to do it. This is id. So that the id is demanding as well as it is unrealistic also. It does not believe in reality. Superego says that it's not right to do it. No, gratification of need. Superego says that if you want gratification of need, it should be without guilt, fear, and anxiety. Now, ego says maybe we can compromise. Ego is the mediator between the id and the superego. So the ego tries to compromise between id and superego. Maybe we can compromise a little bit. Not immediate gratification, but after some time I can fulfill my need. So that is what ego does. Ego is patient, ego is reasonable, ego deals with compromising between id and superego. So these were the three terms which were given by the Freud when he explained the mind, that is the conscious, subconscious, and the unconscious mind. So I hope you all understood about these the concept of id, ego, and superego, and unconscious mind. We will study about the theory which was given by the psychosexual theory which was given by the Freud in the coming lecture. Thank you very much.